crafty friends. I'm here with another video today featuring this lovely paper collection. This is the Country Woods collection from Stampin' Up, and you've probably seen it around the internet on other YouTube channels. It's been very popular, but I'm going to do a two-page spread today. This page right here, I've seen so many cute beach layouts with that, and then these more neutral ones, I've seen lots of outdoor layouts, and so this paper pack is very, very well rounded. One of the things that caught my eye was this blue rustic paper, and the reason it caught my eye was because when I saw it, especially coupled with this one, I just thought, oh, that would make a beautiful 4th of July or patriotic layout. And so that's kind of where my brain went, and I've been wanting to put it together for months, but you know how it is, things get busy and you have lots of new products, and but I'm finally getting around to it. And so here I am bringing in a piece of paper from close to my heart. It's from a mix-in packet last year, and I am loving the way that this is looking. I do want one more paper to bring in though, and so I pull out the Country Lace paper packet. So this is different than the Country Woods. It's full of blues and grays. There's even some peach paper in it, but I picked this one that has like a denim look to it and thought it paired well with the other papers I've selected. I kind of got ahead of myself. Today is actually a video collaboration with the Crafty Bunch, and so we have been working our way through this Make It From Your Heart idea book. We are on pattern 12, and this layout, I have actually put it together once. I did a Christmas layout a long time ago, and it was one of my first close to my heart layouts that I ever did. But with my papers, this is going to come together pretty quickly here. I started off with some scarlet cardstock in the back, and then I put French vanilla on that. I did gut the scarlet paper there. And here I am just bringing these pre-cut papers in. I just cut them down to the dimensions that are in the book. Just as a note, if I were to do this again, I would probably actually get rid of the border on the inside gutter of the 2 pages, and I would have probably just pushed the paper all the way to the edge. That way it looks like it connects. It's not a huge deal, but like I said, if I were to do this page over, I would probably do that. And so here is my last paper. It's very neutral, and so now I need pictures. And so I went into a binder where I've kept some professional pictures from throughout the years and found these pictures of my daughter. She's not so little anymore. We're in the thick of teenage years. But these pictures brought a smile to my face, and so I decided that they would be the perfect addition to this page. So this is Night of Navy. I finally have started collecting Stampin' Up cardstock, and if you don't have Stampin' Up cardstock and have close to my heart in your stash, the color probably you'd want to use would be Sapphire. And so here I have 2 pictures, and these aren't actually the measurements of what it calls for in the book, and because they were professional pictures, I actually didn't decide what they got printed at either, and so I actually do eventually go back and decide to do just one long navy blue piece of paper there instead of the 2 separate mats, and so I will change that. But right now what I have is the nested essential dies. These banners are the smallest one and then the next largest. I wasn't sure size-wise which one I'd want, so here's the bigger one of the 2, and so I'm just putting them up there, and I pretty quickly decide these are just a little bit too large, and so I go ahead and place them all out, but decide nope, I just feel like it competes with the other layers of the paper, and so I decide to put the smaller ones on there, and so I do that. I put the 5 there and decide actually that I need some more there, so I actually use 7 there. I don't think I got this on video, but I do go in and just with a black journaling pen add some lines there so it looks like it's on a string. One of the layouts in the idea book actually had some ink blending, and so I decide that I want to do that, and it has it in 3 different spots, and so I'll also put it in 3 different spots. But I was gonna glue this all down, and then I decided, you know what, I need to do the ink blending first, and that way if it looks horrible I can always just change out the paper and I don't have to rip everything else up. And so I actually haven't glued anything down yet, but I do also like to try it out just on some scratch paper. This is just something that was kicking around, and so I am just going to try that and put it, you know, in one of the corners where I want it to see kind of what it looks like. I find a lot of scrapbooking is trial and error, and so that's kind of what this is. It's testing it out. I do decide that I like it, especially when I put it with this little rosette pinwheel that I made. This pinwheel, it was one of those things like I made it and it got finished and I was like, I love this. Like I was so giddy and excited with how it turned out. And I will show you how I made this, but I tried it out with the wash of color up there, and I really liked it together. So the pinwheel is made from the Round We Go collection through Stampin' Up, and this is a die that you'll get in the die set, and it looks a little weird, but there is a like angular side and then more like a scallop side, and so mine are on the angular side, but you can do the scallop side. It would just be a little softer of a look. And so you want to punch 2 of these out to make a pinwheel. You can actually do 3 if you'd like even a larger pinwheel. So the die gives it like little score lines, and so it makes it really easy to accordion fold it, and you just go back and forth just like you did when you made fans in elementary school. And so you do want to give it good creases, though. I did find one I didn't do it like didn't crease it enough and it didn't work out as well. So you're going to do 2 of those, and then just as a side note, if you use patterned paper, you want to make sure that those 2 pieces are from the same part of the pattern paper. So you can see how mine goes all the way around and matches up, and that's because I lined it up with one of the lines of the checked paper. This paper here, the blue wood paper, it is a little more forgiving just because it's rustic and distressed and stuff like that, so it doesn't really matter as much. But you're going to take those 2 accordions that you've made and put them together. And sorry, I get out of screen here a little bit, but you want to make sure that you've lined those up too. You can see like my fingers kind of pinching it together to make sure that they're even, and that's really important as well for if you want your pinwheel to come out correctly. So it's helpful to have a base of your pinwheel. I just used one of the circles from this die set, but you could use any circle and it wouldn't really matter what color it is either because it's totally covered up. It's just the base of it. But you can see when you try to kind of just circle it around, it doesn't work super well, especially if you're trying to do it flat. So don't do what I'm doing right there. What you'll want to do instead is go ahead and put glue on, the outside tab, and then you're going to just circle it around into like a ring. And here, I'm sorry, I go off camera again a little bit, but you can see that I just connect those there. You do want to let this just sit for a while too before you start manipulating it and trying to flatten it out. Just let it bond and dry. And so I'm going to set that there while I work on some other things. So I've let it dry, and I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on the base, the circle base. I'm pretty liberal with how much glue I've put there. I used a lot. And then I take the little pinwheel that's had time to set, and you just kind of unfold it and push it down, and it will try to sneak up on you, but if it does, you just push it back down. And then once you get it where you want it, you can put something over the top of it as it dries. That way you don't have to sit there and hold it the whole time. In the description, I've actually put 3 different links of some other YouTubers that have used this set. They were really helpful in getting me over just that like initial I don't know how to use this, and so their videos were very helpful, and so I have linked their videos down below so that you can check them out too if you want some additional help and just to see it. One's actually a Christmas page, and then 2 others are actually 4th of July pages as well. And so while the big part of the pinwheel dries, I'm going to do the next section. I cut out 2 of the, it's almost like a flower shape, and then I just nestled them together. Here I'm showing on the back, like that circle is not centered, but it does not matter, so it's okay if it's not centered because nobody's going to see it. And then I'm going to go ahead and put some glue there in the center and center that The first pinwheel I made, I have a large circle that I've glued on the top of the flower shape. And I was debating whether or not I wanted to put that on the one I just made. I end up using the circle and adding it, but you don't have to. It looks complete without it, and there's actually some smaller circles in the die sets as well, so there's lots of different options. I've worked a little off screen. I got everything adhered, and then I went to my Cricut and typed out All American Girl, and did an offset there too. I haven't actually glued the letters down yet, but I'm going to go ahead and place all of my little pinwheels on the page. While I place all of these embellishments, if you haven't yet, I would invite you to become a subscriber of my channel today. I post lots of scrapbooking ideas and would love to share with you what I create. I also appreciate all the thumbs up people give, and so if you are liking what you see, go ahead and push that thumbs up button. It helps me out a lot and I appreciate your support. So what I wanted to do with the date, I actually played around with putting some tags on it, but ultimately I decided to use this, it's kind of like the pinking shares again around a circle, and I just printed that on my printer on some cardstock and then used the die to cut it out. And so that just says the date there, and it looks really good next to the little pinwheel. So the next thing I did was I made a lot of the smaller pinwheels, just with the flower shape part, and then using that same zigzag circle as the base. And so I like it because it, the pinwheels, the large pinwheels have a lot of dimension, and these are flatter and smaller, and so I just like their variety. So next I basically fuss with, what circles I want where and what patterns look good where, and make, 500 changes. So I decide that I want my letters to stop moving all around. I lost an R for a little while, and so decided that this would be a good time to glue this down. And so I pulled out my tweezers. I think I mentioned them in another video that I finally ordered a pair. I've never had a pair before, and so I ordered a pair and keep forgetting to pull them out when I do stuff like this, and so I decided to do that today, and they do take some getting used to. I have to say though, I probably had less glue on my fingers than I would have had I just tried to do it with my fingers. I'm excited to use them when I do embossing too, because I've burned my fingers a few times doing that. And so I am curious, do you use tweezers when you craft? Is that one of your tools? Don't worry, I don't make you watch me glue all of those letters. I just do this first word here and do the rest off screen. But I decided after I got those all glued down that I was looking a little crowded on that side. And so I decided, as much as I didn't want to, I decided to put the title on the right page. I really like my titles on the left page, but I just felt like there was more space over there on the right. There again, in hindsight, I would actually trade out, I think, for like a future layout, the shorter side and the longer side of the different layers. You can see on the left side, the layers are longer, and on the right side, they're shorter. And that's because, they do journaling on the right. I was too far into this page to make that change, but just FYI. So the next step I want to do is some scatter stamping. There is a cute little scatter stamp with the Round We Go set, and so I get the periwinkle and I'm going to just kind of sporadically put that around the clusters. I did limit myself. I said I could only do 3 per page, because sometimes when I do this, you go and you're like, oh, one more here, one more here, and then next thing you know, there's like an explosion of them on your page. So that was my rule, 3 per page. And so that's what I do. And then after I do the sapphire one on each page, I actually decide I want some scarlet ink as well. So there's some red. I knew I wanted a single star. I wanted it to be smaller than the blue scatter, and so I went through all of my stamp sets and I narrowed it down to 3 different sets and brought it over to the page. And so you can see me go through them here, and there's this little star there, and then that one was too big, but there was a smaller one. but this Western set had the perfect one. It had some dashes around it, and I just felt like it really matched the style of this page. And so it's kind of actually one of my go-to filler stamps. Do you have a favorite filler stamp? If you want to share what it is down in the comments below, and we can all get new ideas for filler stamps. But I'm going to go ahead and keep my rule of 3 per page as I stamp this. And while I'm stamping this, I thought I would just share. This week I have an anniversary. It's an anniversary of when I kind of started a new crafty journey. A year ago I signed up to be a Close to My Heart maker. Then with the changes, later on I am now a Stampin' Up demonstrator. But it's been a year since I kind of started that journey, and wasn't really sure what it was going to look like when I started that whole venture, but I've had a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun, and really happy to be back to paper crafting. I kind of took a break for quite a while, and it's so much fun to play with paper again and do physical pages instead of just digital scrapbooking. And so I've decided kind of to step it up a little, and so this month, for the rest of the month of August, I am offering an incentive. And on the next slide, you'll see a picture of the incentive. But it is a card kit, not a card kit, a tag kit that I will send you if you place a $50 purchase before shipping and taxes using this host code here that's on the screen. I'll also put it in the description, but I will send this tag kit to you. It will be pre-stamped and cut out, and all you'll need is scissors and glue and markers and the string. If you spend $75, I will also send you a package of these small embellishments from Stampin' Up. It will not come in your order, but I will send it separately. I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this process, and for all the details and the links, check the description box below. Thanks.